Hi guys, it's Halo and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I draw cute anime girlies based off of the random ideas I get. And today I'm going to be challenging myself to draw a character based solely off of 2 random things I find on my Pinterest for inspiration. So while I was looking for my 2 objects, I immediately thought of animals and food, mostly because these tend to be very colorful and I feel like that'll give me some more options. Plus, I like to think that characters based off of these 2 things are very creative and cute. So while I was scrolling, I noticed this plate of sushi, specifically sushi rolls. Now, I'm a pretty picky eater, so I actually hate eating sushi and fish in general, and I don't really know much about it, but the colors are what really drew me to them. I liked the bright, vibrant oranges of the salmon, I liked the seaweed that's almost kind of black, I liked the white rice, and I think it's egg that's yellow. I'm not sure what else it would be. I just think it'd be a very good color palette to start with, so I'm going to choose a sushi roll as my food. And as I was looking at this plate of sushi rolls further, I started to think about round things in nature or swirly things to tie it in with the sushi roll concept. And that's when the first idea popped into my head, which was to combine a squirrel's tail with the sushi roll. I know, bit of a weird take, kind of random, but my other idea was a snail, so it's probably best that I go with my first idea. And that's kind of how I am with ideas. Usually my first idea is the best idea, so usually I stick with my first idea. So to give you guys a bit of a behind the scenes look, when I draw characters, I usually like to go into it blind with only maybe 1 or 2 vague ideas of what I'm going to create. For example, I might already know I want the character to have pink hair or to have a corset or have green eyes, etc. But for this character though, since the seaweed is kind of black in color, I've already decided ahead of time that it'll be her hair color. I've also decided that I really like the look of the nigiri sushi. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think it's nigiri, but I think the orange color would look really good with the black hair. So as I was thinking about what to do for her outfit, I figured it would be actually kind of cool if the belt of her dress was the seaweed and the dress itself could be white like the rice and have a strip of salmon in the front. That way it can look like a salmon nigiri sushi. And as I was drawing it, I thought it would be really cute to add more rice underneath the dress and for the straps of the dress to make it kind of fluffy looking. Aw, I think this looks kind of cute. Now I'm just going to resize the picture so it looks how I want it to look. And of course, I still need to draw the hands. Man, I hate drawing hands. They're like the worst thing ever to draw. Now as I start blocking in the main colors of this character, I realized that I actually want to incorporate some soy sauce somewhere into this design, so I've decided that the soy sauce dripping off the tail would be a good look. I'm also going to add in some little details before shading, such as the lines in the salmon and coloring the eyes. This way when I go to add shading later, it'll be easier for me and I can get things done quicker. Essentially, I'm trying to prevent myself from having to go back and forth on different layers to try to get things colored in and have them colored correctly, and that way I'm not turning off my shading layer on and off and on and off and on and off. to shade, and you guys can also go back and look at any of my old tutorials on my channel for this little tip, but I always put all of my line art and my base colors into one folder, and then I add a layer above that and clip it to the folder layer so that it affects only what's in the folder. And I set that layer to multiply and add either a warm or cool gray to the entire image. This will make the whole character look kind of dark. Then I'll either take the eraser tool or have the color of my brush set to 0 color, and then I'll erase wherever the light would hit my character, basically wherever the light would be. I just find this a lot easier than adding individual shading to every part. This may look kind of dull right now, but we'll add that color later. Now the one thing I always didn't like about my artwork was the fact that the line art never seemed to blend in well with the rest of the piece and seemed to kind of just take the pictures over. But here lately I've actually realized that I could just use the blur tool and basically blur all of the line art and then take my pencil and just go over the darkest layers again, and it gave it a more soft and sweet looking look. Whatever. Anyway, so just made everything look softer and sweeter, so that's what I've been doing. Okay, so let's add some vibrancy back. I'm going to add a brand new layer right above everything, just as I did with the multiply layer, but this time I'm going to set it to overlay. Now what's really cool about the overlay layers is a lot of times this will add warmth and color back into the dark gray areas. Then I'm going to add a light orange / warm color and airbrush that on the skin and anywhere else I think needs it. I'm gonna start adding some more rice grains to make it a bit more fluffy, bit more fluffy. Let's make this meat look juicy by adding highlights, of course. Okay, I think I'll also add some more soy sauce underneath her so she's not just sitting in the void, and also I kind of want a little decoration, so I'll go ahead and add that. And here she is! I think she turned out super cute, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!